The Old Karelian Railroad, Finnish, Karjalan Rata, between Viipuri, Vyborg, and Joensuu is a railway with 1,524 mm, 5 feet, broad gauge, which used to link Joensuu, Sortavala, Haitola, Antria, now Kamenogorsk, and Viipuri, Vyborg. Originally built in 1892 to 1894 by Finnish State Railways in the Grand Duchy of Finland, in the 1940s most of the railway up to Niirala was ceded by Finland to the Soviet Union in the Moscow Peace Treaty, Moscow Armistice and Paris Peace Treaty as a result of the Winter War and Continuation War. Now the track is located in Leningrad Oblast, Karelian Isthmus, Republic of Karelia and North Karelia. The Sortavala, Joensuu link across the border was abolished after the Continuation War, but was since restored and is currently in use for cargo traffic. History. The decision to build a 311 km railway from Viipuri, Vyborg, to Joensuu was made by the Diet of Finland in 1888. Work on the railroad started in 1890, right after work on the Savonia Railroad was finished. The track from Viipuri, now Vyborg, via Antria, now Kamenogorsk, to Vaakseniska, 79 km, was completed in November 1892, Antria to Sortavala, 139 km, in November 1893, and Sortavala to Joensuu, 132 km, in October 1894. At the height of construction in September 1892 6,000 men worked on the railroad. A direct link between Haitola and Finland Station in St. Petersburg, Russia, was opened in 1917, bypassing the Riihimäki-St. Petersburg Railroad. See St. Petersburg-Haitola Railroad. The bombing of the Elisenvaara station of the Karelian Railroad on June 20, 1944, during the final stages of the Continuation War, was the most fatal bombing in Finnish history. Over 100 civilians were killed when bombs hit a train of Karelian evacuees. After the Winter War and Continuation War, Karelian Isthmus and Ladoga Karelia with Viipuri, Vyborg, Haitola, Elisenvaara and Sortavala, Sertapal, were ceded to the Soviet Union, and most stations of the line got to the Soviet side of the new border. In the Moscow Peace Treaty on March 12, 1940, Finland lost the section Viipuri, Antria, Haitola, Hakima, Sortavala, Motkalska, Vartsila, 240 km, to the Soviet Union. Only the Joensuu, Niirala section, 71 km, remained in Finland. In the early 1950s Finland built a new railroad on the Finnish side of the new border, connecting Imatra with the northern part of the Karelian Railroad at Sakaniemi, now Parikkala. Branches. The Vyborg railway station also serves a number of other railroads. At Antria a 39 km railway to Vaakseniska branches off from this line. After 1940 and 1944 the Antria, Enso section, 26 km, was ceded to Soviet Union. As of 2007, projects are being discussed to construct a cargo railway along the northern shore of the Vaaksi River linking Kamenogorsk, Antria, to the Luzovo station of the St. Petersburg-Haitola Railroad in order to ship Russian crude oil to the seaport of Primorsk, Koivisto, bypassing the St. Petersburg, Vyborg line. At Haitola, KM 93, the Karelian Railway merges with the St. Petersburg-Haitola Railroad. The Elisenvaara station was linked to Savonlinna and ultimately Vaasa in Finland. The track meets the new Karelian Railroad in Parikkala, on the Finnish side of the border, but the line is closed for traffic and the tracks have been removed in Finnish side to the border. On the Russian side the line from Elisenvaara to Sivaoro 13 km still exists and has Surho station 7 km from Elisenvaara serving a local border guard station. The Simpala, Elisenvaara section, 22 km, of the Vaakseniska, Elisenvaara line has been lifted after 1944. This section is used as a local road. It had the following stations and stops: Simpala 100 km, Koitsansala halt 108 km, Lamanshalo, now Ketravara, station 111 km, Hapavara halt 114 km, Elisenvaara 122 km. Recently, this section reconstruction to reopen in Elisenvaara, Sortavala, Motkalska, Suojärvi, Timitsi section upgrading including electrification at 25 kV 50 Hz AC and track doubling are proposed, to connect between Imatra and Pietrzavotsk. There is an 11 km long industrial railroad, completed in 1911, branching off at Laudenpää from the Karelian Railroad to the shore of Lake Ladoga. In 1921 a railroad linking Motkalska, KM 215, to Naistenjärvi, Naistenjärvi 139 km was constructed, which was later in turn linked to Pitkäranta, Kostamykshä, and Pietrzavotsk. In the Finnish part of the railroad there is a connection Sakaniemi, now Parikkala, Imatra, Kovala through the New Karelian Railroad going along the border. Trains. In Russia, the railroad is used to ship petroleum to the ports of the Gulf of Finland as well as lumber and iron ore pellets from Karelia. Passenger trains. Vyborg, Kamenogorsk, about 1 hour 20 minutes with all stops as of 2007. Vyborg, Kamenogorsk, Svetogorsk, about 1 hour 35 minutes with all stops as of 2007. Vyborg, Haitola, about 3 hours with all stops as of 2007. Sortavala, Haitola, Kuznecnoy, about 2 hours 20 minutes from Sortavala to Haitola with all stops as of 2007. St. Petersburg, Ladushki Rail Terminal Haitola, Sortavala, Kostomyksha, about 2 hours 45 meters from Haitola to Sortavala as of 2007.